Alright, welcome back to another episode of Noob to Pro. This is X Bones, and we're not going to waste a whole lot of time. We're going to get right into it. So, we're going to continue where we left off. We got some progress to make. We got some daily challenges. We at least want to accomplish one of those. And we're gonna do a color challenge, starter deck duel, and jump in. I think where we left off, we actually left off on jump in. So I think I'll start there first. So we got this power and growth deck, which we can look at and inspect here. These are all the cards in it. It's a red and green deck. It's got some okay cards in it. Nothing super great. But the really cool thing about playing Jump In is just kind of a cheap way to increase your card collection. Whether you're spending the 1,000 gold, which is pretty easy to earn pretty quickly, or if you happen to get redeemable tokens, you can redeem those and hop into Jump In. And even if you have to pay for it in gems, it's actually a pretty cheap amount of gems as well. So. Anyway, and then you can play as many times as you like. If you win a game, you only need one win. You get a single card as a reward, and it says the card will at least be uncommon. You can probably bet that it probably will be uncommon, but uncommon rarities are usually pretty decent cards. And when you're starting out, you don't have much cards to begin with, and you don't have much. I mean, right now we have 0 wild cards that we can exchange. So this little symbol up here, that's the symbol for the wild card. And right now it says 0, 0, 0, 0. So we have none at the moment. As we start to collect wild cards, common and uncommon will be pretty easy to obtain, and then the rare mythics will be the more rare cards to obtain. So, yeah, and so. If this turns out to be an uncommon, not a bad prize for a beginner, but we may get lucky and get a rare or a mythic card. So I kind of wonder what that is, but we'll look at that later. Let's just go ahead and jump into the game. Let's get this started. So I'm gonna try to explain and teach as much as I can of what I'm doing, geared towards newer players, depending on my level of need to focus on the game. That may falter a little bit, but okay, so I get to go first. Really good thing is I got a couple of rare cards in this opening hand. This is a really good opening hand, as well as 3 lands. 3 lands is usually like a good place to start. It did say free mulligan, I noticed. Normally when you mulligan, you go down a card. If you can mulligan for free, that's, I mean, mulligan if you need to, So right away I got to play on turn 2 with this Nessian Horn Beetle. I played that first because it does enter tapped. Oh, this also enters tapped, but I think I want to go ahead and get this beetle down. I'll get this beetle into play. Turn 3, I do have the ability to cast the Outcaster's Trailblazer. It might be a good idea to plot him, but we'll see. Okay, so he put in this pickaxe equipment. Okay, and then he left some mana open. Not sure how that's gonna play out, but we will see. This is tough, honestly. This is really tough. I kind of want to plot this. Let's go to next. Go ahead and attack, see what happens. See if he has some sort of spell up his sleeve. Oh, you know what? At the beginning of combat, you know what? I think I'm going to go ahead and plot this. At the beginning of combat, you could put a 1/1 counter on this creature. Interesting. All you need is another creature with power 4 or greater. It's pretty good. War Leader's Call. Okay. Okay. What do we want to do here? I think I want to play this because when this comes into play, I get to add 1 mana of any color. I add... Ooh. Yeah, I add... I guess it doesn't matter. I'm actually going to play this Cactus Sure Shot. Yeah, let's play the Cactus Sure Shot. Alright, so this triggers Outcaster's Trailblazer that draws me a card. I'm going to put in this tap land because I really don't need to cast anything else. Nessian Hornbeetle gets a little boost. Go ahead and attack in with that. As much as I'd love to attack in with the Trailblazer. Oh no, well he's got Summoning Sickness, which means you can't attack the turn it comes into play. You can't attack or tap. So, but I don't want to attack into this thing anyway because, you know, it wouldn't be a nice trade. Outcaster Trailblazer is something I want to protect and keep. But anyway. Okay. Okay. Interesting situation. Alright, we'll throw this forest in. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and put this down. Sylvan Scavenging. Put the hard whatever. Honestly, I think I'm gonna attack with this. See what he does. I'm just gonna put pressure on him. He could block to kill me, but all right. Chooses not to. The Karlov Watchdog. Okay. Put a 1/1 counter on him. I might actually end up using this Nessian Hornbeetle a little bit more because I didn't realize how good this is. He's equipping his best stuff here. Okay. So be it. He didn't want to attack in. Interesting. Well, let's go to combat. Should we? Nah. Go ahead, attack with these two. He's got to block something, right? See, he blocks cactus, whatever, cactus folk, whatever. Alright. So I'm gonna cast Elvish Regrower. This can bring him back from the graveyard. That's one of the reasons why I really like that card. I think it's such a ooh. Let's go ahead and do this. Why not? Yeah, every time you cast something with 4 or greater, I'm just gonna create a little raccoon creature. Okay. I think he's getting 1/1 because of and it's indestructible. Well, okay. Let's start by casting the Cactus Folk guy. Okay. And then let's do this, and then let's go ahead and attack in. I'm pretty sure this is game over here. Yeah. He can't block enough stuff for him to survive. Yeah. Boom. All right, so we got to win. This deck turned out to be even better than I expected. And honestly, this just goes to show the power of aggro. So, aggro essentially is keep throwing stuff onto the battlefield and just keep attacking. Cast some creature, cast a bigger creature. You know, hopefully you're casting stuff as fast as you can. If you got like pump spells that like boost the power of your creature, slam that onto your creature. Hopefully you got trample as well, and just keep slamming it for damage until your opponent's done. Really didn't take a whole lot of strategy there. So anyway, pretty simple game, right? I just cast all the things that I could possibly cast. I guess the one little, I guess you could say tricky thing was I specifically held off on casting Elvish Regrower until I had something in the graveyard that I was able to get back. I could have casted it earlier, but I wanted to hold on until I was able to get something back from it. So, and like I said, this Nessian Horn Beetle turned out to be a little more powerful than I initially thought. I don't recall I think I've ever played with this card before. Now that I think about it, I've seen it, but I don't remember playing with it. And the fact that it just will simply put a +1/+1 counter on itself to get bigger and bigger, just because you have another creature on the battlefield is incredible. I mean, it's got to be a creature with power 4 or greater, but I think that's pretty huge. This Outcaster Trailblazer, an amazing card. You'll see this in a lot of competitive, deck builds that people have. Just because you're going to draw a card at each and every time a creature with power 4 or greater enters, and it's when it enters the battlefield, not if you cast it. That's so much more powerful than just a cast trigger, and it's not just once per turn. So that's huge. That's a really huge benefit to have a card like that. What else was good? This one's kind of cool. At the beginning of combat, other creatures with power 4 or greater gain trample and haste until end of turn. That's pretty good, because you get him down onto the battlefield. That means you could play bigger and bigger creatures. They're going to have trample if they don't already have it themselves, which a lot of big creatures in green typically do have trample. But there's some that don't. There's some big creatures like with big power that just don't have trample. And so, unfortunately, a person can do what's called chump blocking, which is just putting a little 1/1 creature in front of your big creature. It'll attack in, and that 1/1 creature will absorb all the damage. None will get to your opponent. But trample will attack through and deal damage to your opponent, minus the toughness of the creature that's blocking it. So no little creature really is going to stop a creature with trample from getting through for damage. That's pretty huge. And then haste on top of that. I mean, trample by itself is like a good benefit, but trample and haste is huge. So this is an awesome card that I'm for sure gonna build around a little bit, especially we got these beginner decks. So this was like a huge benefit. Our collection is instantly way bigger just from adding these cards. So shout out to the opponent, Zert Gald. I think that's how you pronounce that. But go ahead and leave the match. That enchantment too on the battlefield that it will give you little +1 counters or put little creature tokens on the battlefield. I mean, that's a good one too. So that was huge to have. We'll go through some deck building probably sooner than later, and we'll try to strategize on what's like the best way to build a deck around some sort of strategy or win con type of goal or whatever. especially for us as beginners with this type of account, where we don't have a huge card pool, so we gotta really be a little bit more of on a budget in order to build a deck. So anyway, so we got the reward. All we have to do is click the claim button, and let's see what we got. So we got a single card that we get to add to the collection. Flip it over. It is Crovad Haunch. Yeah, not really sure what this is, but I've seen it before. It's kind of weird because it's an equipment that you can use to boost the power of your creature by 2. But you could also sacrifice it and gain 3 life. And then it says when this equipment is put into your graveyard from the battlefield, you can pay 2, and if you do, you get to create 2 1/1 white dog creature tokens, which you can kind of see there. That's essentially what that token will look like. I don't think it's the most powerful card. I wish its equip cost was 1. I don't mind. I don't mind the ability, but what's bad about it? It's when it's put into the graveyard. You have to have the open mana in order to pay for that. So if you were sacrificing it yourself, you would essentially have to pay 2 plus another 2, so that's 4 mana. And in return, you get 3 life and 2 1/1 creature tokens. Don't know if that's the best value exchange, but I say it's fair. It's not too bad, but it's not too powerful. So anyway, we're gonna go ahead and claim this. This gets added to our collection. What do we got next? Put the inbox. Okay, inbox. Nothing too important. I want to look at this codec, but I know it's gonna take a minute, and it's just I don't think it's super useful. So I'm debating hitting the resign button. Oh look. Oh, we got 2 more jump-in tokens. Was that a reward given to us? Maybe. I was gonna say maybe we could stay in this until we get some more jump-in tokens, but we have them. I don't know if that was a reward for winning a game or whatever, but we have 2 more jump-in tokens. I'm gonna go ahead and hit the resign button. No, you know what? Yeah. I'll hit the resign button. We're going to go ahead and use another one right away, just so we can, again, add more cards to the collection. So this time we're going to choose some different colors. We chose red and green last time. Let's try to choose something different so that we get different cards available to add to our card pool. So I'm going to go ahead and hit this 1 jump-in token. Let's see what we got. Dinosaurs. I think there's already going to be a dinosaur deck that will be given. There's drawing. It's forensics. I'm tempted with the forensics. It's between forensics and honestly maybe dinosaurs. I wish I knew what was in here. Wish I knew what was in this set. Drawing could be good too. Forensics. Okay, I'm gonna judge off the creature that I see as like the main creature. So this creature is not the creature in that picture, which is weird. But Leering Onlooker. Exile this card from your graveyard. Create 2 tap 1/1 black bat creature tokens. To me, I don't feel like that's a very powerful ability. Don't feel like it's a very powerful ability. Drawing. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, create a 1/1 blue fairy creature token. This could be good if you're drawing a lot of cards, which I'm assuming this particular pack of, or you know, it's not quite a deck. But this set of cards that they give you, it should have a lot of cards that will draw you cards. And then you got dinosaurs. Dinosaurs is probably a very aggressive, playstyle. But whenever this creature attacks or blocks while you control a dinosaur, this creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn. That sounds pretty good, honestly. But This is going to be a completely dinosaur themed deck. In order for that to work, I have no idea what the second pack will give us. But honestly, I'm still tempted to get forensics because I wonder what other cards are in this set. And black to me is a good color combo. In addition to green, we did also just you know we did also just use a deck that included red and green, so that would be one of these colors. Man, honestly, I'm having a tough time deciding between the two. Oh my gosh. I wonder if I should like flip a coin or something. Because I honestly like I want to decide one, but they both could be so good. They both could be so good. You know what? I'm going with forensics. I'm going against my gut with the well, I'm going with my gut. I guess I'm going against my brain or something. I don't know. Brain or heart. I forget which one I'm choosing. But I think I'm choosing this one because I really want to see what's in there versus this one. I have a feeling I know what's in there, and I do want some good blue cards to add to the collection, but we're just gonna go with this anyway. All right, confirm pick. Boom. All right. So these are the next choices. Zombie. Oh, well, that's kind of an expensive card. That's a 6 mana cost card for a 4/4 zombie that when it dies, it creates 2 black zombie creature tokens. Maybe it's a fairly balanced card, but I don't like paying 6 mana for a 4/4 creature. Even if the upside is that you can kill it and it'll get a bunch of it'll get 2 tokens in exchange for that. That's pretty good. Let's look at prehistoric. So prehistoric, return up to 1 target permanent card from your graveyard to your hand, and then you get to discover 4. I actually really like this as a what's it called? I think recursion, if you want to call it that, or the ability to retrieve stuff from your graveyard. I do like that. It's a permanent card from your graveyard, so it could be creature or something else, artifact, enchantment, whatever. So that's pretty nice. Depths. Let's see what this is. Echo of Dust. It's a vampire spirit. I actually really like that card art. It's pretty freaky, crazy looking. Like, imagine seeing that thing in real life. That's a crazy looking thing to see. I would be pretty terrified because what are you? Ghost, demon? Look at the teeth on this thing. Clearly, I guess it was a vampire. It's a dead vampire now, apparently. Got a skull. Face? What, like this thing's crazy. This thing's crazy looking. And it looks huge, too. It looks kind of tall. But anyway, vampire spirit. Descend 4. As long as there are 4 or more permanent cards in your graveyard, this creature gets +1/+1, has lifelink. Not super powerful. You have to have 4 or more permanent cards in your graveyard, and then it gets a small boost, which makes it a 3/3 with lifelink. It's kind of mediocre. Honestly, I think this prehistoric might be the best one. Crazy thing about it is prehistoric sounds like it's going to be dinosaurs. So I mean, the picture honestly looks kind of dinosaur-ish, but let's just go ahead and pick prehistoric. Again, I'm picking it based off the card I see there. I mean, the card that I saw for this one I didn't too much like, but this one I definitely like. Yeah, let's just go with it, man. Enough talking about our decision. So look, this is it. Forensics prehistoric. Not the greatest name in the world, but whatever. We're gonna hit the add to decks button. The add to decks button basically just added that to our deck list or whatever. I'm gonna go ahead and look and see what's in here. Okay, Rubble Belt Maverick. Element Battle Glyph. Huh, okay. All right, all right, all right. This is utilized with dinosaurs. That's a little bit interesting. So we're stuck with dinosaurs no matter what. Littering onlooker, intrepid paleontologist. Okay, this is good for dinosaurs. Poison dart frogs, dagger size, insidious roots. That's actually a good card. Mediocre card in my opinion. Armored kincaller. Not great. Thrashing Bronzeton. Decent. Not great. Capre reconstruction. Okay. Okay. Ah, that's not bad. That's pretty decent. This was that picture. Rot Farm Mortipede. Okay, some sort of crazy looking insect. Whenever one or more creature cards leave your graveyard, this creature gets +1/+0 and gains menace and lifelink until end of turn. Kind of mediocre-ish. Soul Innervation. Flash. When this enchantment enters, target creature gets -4/-4. Whenever one or more creature cards leave your graveyard, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Okay. Bite down the crime. This is a very mediocre deck. I'm gotta be honest. This is a pretty mediocre deck. Okay. The disguise cost and everything. That's an expensive card. So one thing you're gonna learn is that the cost of cards can literally be the difference between costing you winning a game and losing a game. So it's really understand to get a true feel for the mana value or the mana average of your deck and how it flows with the game plan that you're doing. And what kind of cards are kind of keeping you going from turn to turn to get you to the later stages of the game, where typically you're going to win in the mid to late game time frame, unless you're playing aggro and you can just beat your opponent down within the first few turns. But that's I'm not gonna say it's tough to do, but you have to play a certain way. You have to construct your deck a certain way to win in the early game. And most people that construct their decks to win consistently within 4 turns, they're normally sacrificing other things that would give them a later game advantage. And so in doing so, you tend to kind of burn out if you don't beat your opponent within the first 4 turns. Most players that construct their decks just like a normal deck strategy, something no different than what we're looking at here. If somehow your opponent can usually survive those first few turns against an aggro player, a lot of times the tide is turned pretty quickly, for the other player. So, but one of the first decks that we build will be just to build a really basic aggro strategy deck, and I'm gonna put my own extra little flavor on it that is probably not what most aggro players would do, but that's just because I'm different. I don't prefer to play the typical aggro strategy, so I have to do something a little more creative for my own personal enjoyment for the game. So yeah, and then in doing so, it will give us a little bit more of a mid-rangey type of feel, even though I'm supposed to be creating an aggro deck. That's what I do. If I make an aggro, it kind of turns into mid-range. But it's just something that it's almost like a fail-safe. If the aggro strategy doesn't get us the win, there's got to be something that will keep us alive to a later stage in the game where we can kind of finish our opponent off with some other stuff. So anyway, enough of all that explaining. So this was the card I really wanted. This Walk with the Ancestors. I personally like it. It's a little pricey on the 5 mana cost, but I think it's worth it. I think not only is it a balanced card, it's not overpowered, but I think it's a good value because that Discover 4 ability essentially allows you to play for free a card that's mana value 4 or less. Now, it's kind of randomized because it's just going to take cards from the top of your library. If you read that little description up there, Discover 4, exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a card with mana value 4 or less. So you could unfortunately run into like this Rubble Belt Maverick, which is only 1 mana, or you could randomly run into this, for example, Malamet Battle Glyph. And let's just say you don't have a good target for it. Unfortunately, this won't do you any good. But the good part about Discover is that you get the option. You may cast it without paying its mana cost, or you could put it into your hand. So if it's something that is not useful right away, you could just put it into your hand for later use. So it's almost like a free card you get to put into your hand, potentially play, and you still got the ability where you're grabbing a permanent card from your graveyard and then putting it back into your hand. And the fact that it says permanent and not creature, again, it's really valuable because it just gives you more possible targets. Like if this Insidious Roots is in your graveyard for whatever reason, it's an enchantment instead of a creature, but you could grab this enchantment back, put it in your hand, and then use it. So I like that. But anyway, moving on. Earthshaker Dreadmaw. So this combos with dinosaurs. Topiary Panther. Not a huge fan of that card, but it is a plant cat, and that will combo with Insidious Roots. It puts a +1/+1 counter on each plant you control, so it will give this thing a little boost while also boosting the little plant tokens it ends up creating. What is this? Center of the Web. Huh. Okay. I'm not super high on this card. It's kind of mediocre. It's 6 mana for a 5/4 creature with menace, which may help it to utilize its ability while keeping it still alive. You get to create some tokens that are a little bit annoying. They got menace and reach. And then you have to sacrifice 4 tokens, not 2, but 4, in order to surveil 2, draw 2 cards, and then you gain 2 life. I don't know about that one. Not the strongest card. Yeah. And then you got this one. When this creature enters, create a 3/3 green dinosaur creature token. Not bad. I think this is like a fairly fair cost card. It's got the 4 cycling, which can get you a land. Could be beneficial, but and then if you cycle this, it goes to your graveyard. We clearly have ways to get stuff back from the graveyard, like this Macabre Reconstruction. We got some ways to collect evidence to remove stuff from the graveyard, but basically, if we get this Insidious Roots on the ground on the battlefield, then anything that, I guess, is when creature cards leave your graveyard, you get to create these plant creature tokens, and that could be pretty strong. And not only that, so if you get this down, and then you trigger it to get the plants can then tap for mana of any color, which is pretty good. So anyway, I feel like I've been talking a long time. All right, so we're gonna play that in the next episode. I'm gonna take Spark Rank. You've unlocked a new mode to play against other aspiring planeswalker. Huh. How did I do that?
Congratulations on unlocking Spark Rank. Here is where you'll battle other planeswalkers with any deck you like.
With
A
any
great
deck.
place to start is to use decks you earned from playing the Starter Deck Duel event. You can even upgrade those decks and make your own creation.
We will be doing
Then,
that.
climb your way up the tiers of Spark Rank play as you master your Planeswalker Spark. After you complete Spark Rank, who knows what adventures are in store? I can't wait for you to find out.
Yeah, we will find out. There will be a lot of adventures in store, which is basically a lot of battling crazy opponents on Arena. But so we got this thing. So complete jump in 3 times, and then it looks like you get a reward of more jump in tokens. Okay, all right. So we completed it once. Just got to do it 2 more times, apparently. So Spark Ranked, we somehow unlocked that, maybe from winning the jump-in game. We'll look at it real quick. Okay, so Spark Ranked basically says you can play it with any deck that you want. Right now, I wonder why these are invalid. It says invalid decks. What makes them invalid? Do not know. This doesn't explain anything really. But so I know why these are invalid. These are 40 card decks. I have not built them out to be 60, so they have to be 60 cards. That's all we got to do. We just got to fill this deck out to be 60, and then we can use in either of these two. Because keep in mind, the normal game modes are 60 card decks. However, when we play Jump In is a 40 card deck. I forget where it says it, but basically when we pick those two different packs, the forensics and the prehistoric, whatever, when we pick those two, those are 20 cards each, including lands, right? So Spark Ranked, we'll get to that, but we need to build a deck that we feel like is going to be competitive in order to win through that. And then also we want to collect more cards in order to build a deck. And so the starter deck duel is what we're going to want to do. But let me see something here. We're just going to check on time. All right, so I talked quite a bit. Hopefully this is informational and useful information for whoever's watching. But yeah, I'm gonna try to speed up stuff because we can get more done in each episode if I'm doing less talking, more playing. So we will do another starter deck duel, but before we do that, I'm gonna go to this color challenge. Color challenge should be pretty easy. This one's against the computer. I'm just gonna hop right in. Probably not gonna do too much explaining because this should be an easy win. Should be an easy win versus the computer. Alright, per usual, opponent already has a thing, already has a land on the battlefield. It's like, so they must have started out before us. Alright, okay, so, plays Mountain. I could play Nest Robber, but I think I'd rather play the Shock. Get rid of that onto the battlefield. My opponent plays another Woodland Mystic. Alright, this time I get to play a Shock to remove that out the way so that when Nest Robber comes into play, it has haste. It can just immediately attack through. Nothing to block it. Deals damage to my opponent. Another Woodland Mystic. Oh, okay. So now I got this Volcanic Dragon, but I'm not going to be able to play it for a couple more turns. It costs a total of 6 mana, which we don't have. But I'll play this Goblin Gang Leader. I'll hold back the Nest Robber just so that it's not getting killed by a creature that it's kind of weaker than it. Okay, so opponent plays that. All right, fun. Okay, so yeah, let's do this. Let's go ahead and attack with everything. I got this instant in hand, so my opponent is gonna block the Goblin Gang Leader. I'm going to use Burn Bright. Boom, 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 boom. Alright, so that pumped up everything. +2, +0. Which is pretty sweet. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and play this Volcanic Dragon. And honestly, I'm probably going to pretty much attack with everything. I'm going to hold back one of the little goblins. He's gonna block the biggest thing he can block. I'm gonna hold back this goblin so that I could block with him. just prefer not to take damage if I can help it. This is what's called chump blocking. I'm just gonna take all the damage with this creature, so none of that gets through to hit me. And what do you know? An inescapable blaze. So I could attack with the dragon in the game, or I could use my little instant. And it says any target, so I can target directly my opponent to win the game. So pretty easy win. Pretty easy win. All right. That was an easy one. You know, it's nice to get easy ones out the way. This is gonna take a while to complete all of these. I probably next episode will do 2 to finish this off. But for now, I'm gonna jump into another starter deck duel. So remember, Sparked Ranked, we'll want to complete Spark Ranked challenges in order to. I don't know what you get rewarded for doing Spark Ranked challenges. I don't know, but that's gonna be the kind of the end goal. Is once we have a really well constructed deck that we think can compete with anybody, then we'll go ahead and jump into Spark Rank and throw some crazy stuff out there. But for now, we're gonna do the starter deck duel because this we get to play with any of the these free decks that they've given us. And then if we win with one of these decks, we get to keep it and play with it. Now, I forget, did we play with Desert Oasis already? Let's see. See if this looks familiar. I get a feeling we have not played with this. I could be wrong, but I feel like we haven't played with this. I know we did Ancient Discovery, failed. We did Crack the Case, failed. Don't remember Desert Oasis. So let's go ahead and give this one a try. And cross our fingers. Cross our fingers that we don't get a crazy opponent that is really good at the game. I don't bet our luck on opponents because, you know, there are some really good players out there that really know what they're doing. Okay. Go ahead and keep this. Throwing the Hedge Mage, or Hedge Maze. Huh. I think I'm gonna keep that. Snarling Gorehound. Okay. So, I could throw in this Roof Rider Fawn. She would be able to tap for mana, which I think would be pretty good. But since I don't have anything specifically to, I think, cast with it the following turn, I think I'm going to start here. I'm going to play this island, and I think I'm going to throw this River Herald Scout into the battlefield. Map the frontier. I think that's gonna be useful. I think that's gonna be useful. I just need to get another land in order to make it that, but I think my opponent, he had this ability for this creature trigger, which allows him to surveil, I think. Well, whatever. Alright, so we're going to put in Bristly Bill. Then we're going to throw this Forest into play. The Forest triggers Bristly Bill's ability to just kind of pump up our creature. Every time a land comes into the battlefield, I can put a 1/1 counter on a creature. So right now, River Herald Scout has 2 1/1 counters on it. We're going to try to play aggressively. We'll just see how well our opponent kind of fights back here. Okay. So our opponent puts in the Delny. Okay. We really need a land on the next turn, but it's not the end of the world if we don't, because I think I want to get rid of Delny. Delny is kind of like probably the most powerful card of whatever deck this is from. I think Power to the People or something like that. And okay, interesting. So we didn't get a land. That sucks. Man, okay, so I really want to do this. I want to take Delny out and attack with the River Herald Scout. So my opponent can take the damage or chump block. Probably, if I were him, I think I chump block, unless I got something else up my sleeve in my hand that's gonna like gain me life back. You know, kill that creature, put something more powerful into the battlefield. So far no good. See what the opponent got. So I missed the land drop. Unfortunate. Oh, my opponent's thinking about what to kill. Do you kill the River Herald Scout, or do you kill Bristly Bill? I would kill Bristly Bill. I know River Herald Scout looks like it's a bigger creature that you're gonna have to deal with attacking the following turn. Yikes. Okay. Surprisingly, I'm gonna get rid of this. It's between this and this, but I think this is more so worth getting rid of. So get rid of that. That may have been all my opponent could cast. If I get a land the following turn, I'll be in good business. Oh, but it's a tap land. No worries. I'm gonna put a counter on the River Herald Scout. I'm gonna put the Root Rider for whatever falling in. Go ahead and attack with Bristly Bill. This could be dangerous because I don't want Bill to die. But if he doesn't have a kill spell, I'm all good. I want to keep pumping up the River Herald Scout to make him more of a threat for my opponent to want to remove instead of Bristly Bill. This following turn, I for sure will be able to cast the Map the Frontier. It's going to be huge. If I draw a land on top of that, it's going to be kind of nasty. Okay, so he uses make your move to destroy River Herald Scout. Okay, so be it. Oh, this is nasty. I'll hold off on Cactarantula, whatever the heck it's called. Go ahead and put this in the on, so put a counter on dude, and then I will cast the Map the Frontier. So let's go ahead and grab some stuff. Oh, let's grab a couple of these Oasis side. Alright, let's put a counter on Bristly. Put another counter on whatever. Root Rider. Let's go ahead and attack on in. Again, this could be dangerous. My opponent could have some sort of removal spell or a way to pump up his creature. No, nothing. So he just has to take the damage and try chump blocks, essentially. Tries to block the incoming damage. So, just I'm essentially just continuing to put pressure on my opponent. I spread out the counters. I want Root Rider Fawn to be, you know, more of the threat between the two, because as you see, my opponent had to remove my river, whatever it's called, River Herald Scout. Oh, oh, he got me with the rankle prank. Sucks. Well, go ahead and put my Cactarantula into play. Okay. Hopefully he doesn't have more removal. Black and white actually both have pretty decent removal options. So more than likely he's looking at whatever removals in his hand. The fact that he's got 2 cards, he hasn't played much, he probably has a bunch of removal. That kind of sucks. Okay, so what does he hit me with? Yeah, draw a card, of course. Boom. Oh! Oh! I can return this to my hand. Woohoo! I'll take it. Yeah, put in another Cactarantula. Go upstairs. See what my opponent has. Does he have something else he can do something with? Maybe, maybe not. What is this? Oh, okay. Me like it. River Herald's Guide. Do I need this? You know what? I'm gonna go with it. Simply because it gives him a boost too, and then I could just get rid of that now off the top of the library. Go ahead and attack in, boom. So if my opponent doesn't have what's called a sweeper, something that will sweep the battlefield and kill all my creatures. Oh, and he has it. Right when I say that, my opponent has it. What are the odds? What are the odds? And he has something with lifelink. No problem, no worries. Got another big creature. Bigness prevails. Big dinosaur prevails. The pathfinding axe jaw. Does my opponent have another removal? That expel the interloper for sure. Ooh. Yeah, that's what is he gonna do here? What is he gonna do? Okay. Go ahead and put this in. Honestly, surveilling here is pretty clutch. 2 lands would just murder me right now. To get rid of those 2 lands when I don't need them is huge. I'm gonna go ahead and attack him with the pathfinding axe jaw. He has to block here. He has to block. I know he doesn't want to block, but he has to block. Now, he gains some life, and this thing dying draws him a card. Pretty clutch. Pretty clutch. It's a card I do like. It's a card that personally I would use. Oh my gosh, he has another one. Here's another one. So my opponent might just pull this back from behind. Look at this. Look at this. The little engine that could. Okay. He's attacking. He's attacking. He wants war. He wants war here. Okay. Let's explore. Let's explore and see what we got. Okay. Got a land. Don't need it. Yeah, let's do this. Blocks with this. Not a bad choice. Gains him some life. Draws him a card. The odds that he'll be able to play something here by having 2 cards in hand is huge. Okay, one of them was a land. What's the other one? Another outlaw medic. What are the odds? Boom, boom. That triggers the Gorehound's ability to surveil. If it's a useless card on top of his library, he should surveil and put that into the graveyard. If he keeps it, it's probably something useful. Okay, it was a land. Again, surveilling is huge, especially at this stage in the game, because right now we're at a bit of a stalemate. We're at a spot in the game where, whoo, I think that'll help. I think that'll help out. think so. I'm gonna attack with this. As much as I want it. Can't find your sock? I have Brooke to help you. Get a diaper. Okay, so he blocked. And I really want to put this Tarantula in. I'm like kind of scared that he's got another sweeper, but what are the odds, right? What are the odds? What are the odds that he has another sweeper? Let's go ahead and get that into play. Give us a little protection. A little protection from his flying creature. He's got another land. He could trigger the Whisper Drinker's ability. What does this do? Oh, okay. Okay. He gets to surveil. Huge, huge. Again, he's getting rid of stuff that's useless, like this land off the top of his library. Drawing that land the following turn would just practically kill him, right? How much mana he's got? Like 3. He's got 7. He's got enough to do the stupid Whisper Drinker's ability. It is what it is. Like, oh, please do attack. Oh, no, he just attacks with that. Don't mind if you do. Please do. Please do. What's going on here? Okay. I don't know if he thought I would block with something bigger. Bad choice, my buddy. Bad choice, my buddy. I really hope you do. Okay, so now I know I'm playing against a relatively novice player because this was a bad move. This was a bad move on his part. He's gonna kill the River Herald Scout. Let me help you out, buddy. Kill that. Oh no, he blocks that. Weird. Very weird choice. Good. Good, boo-boo. Go ahead and put this in. Let's go ahead and put this in. Put this on that. Boom. Let's go ahead and attack with everything. Block how you want to block. It's not going to be good for you. Trust and believe. It's not going to be good for you. You got to block something. At least one thing has to be blocked, which means you're going to sacrifice something. Okay. So you're blocking the biggest thing. Not bad. Not a bad choice. Not a bad choice. Unfortunately, you tapped your mana out, so you can't put Death Touch on your stuff and kill my stuff. I was gonna have to trade with you, which was a choice I was considering making. Now what do? It's game over with. Call it GG. Call it good game. It's a good game because you could do that ability if you want to, gain you a couple of life. You could save it for the following turn if you think you're gonna, scare me off from attacking in. But it's over with. This is what's called good game. This is what's called good game. I'm gonna go ahead and thank my opponent for playing. Good game, buddy. Good game. It was nice knowing you. Let me go ahead and put that into play first. Okay. And put that on that guy. Okay. What do you know? A land. Attack with everything. Boom, boom, boom. It was nice. It was nice playing with you, Gabo. We got an easy opponent. So we gotta win. We gotta win. And of course, ask the question when we had fun. Of course we had fun. We have fun when we win. We don't have fun when we don't win. I don't know whoever's watching out there, but I like to win. I would assume most people do too, but could be just me. I don't know. But I definitely like to win. Alright, so look at that. We got a reward. Don't even know what that was for exactly. Probably a daily challenge. This was probably a reward for winning. You're done with that, didn't I tell you?
Yeah.
Go get your tablet, please. Alright. And this win got us a free card that says it will at least be rare. So our last card that we got was an uncommon card, not something super powerful. This card ought to be good, so let's claim it. Let's see what it is. Pollen Shield Hair. Okay. It's not a bad card, but amongst rares, it is a fairly it is a fairly mediocre card. I will say that. This has essentially two cards in one by having this like sorcery adventure mode on the card, and then having the main card itself. So you can cast both, but that ability being a sorcery as opposed to an instant makes it a bit less valuable. There's less, what's the word, less situations where you're maybe going to use that. But this could close out a game for you potentially. But to give you a big plus X, you have to have a lot of creatures. If you have a lot of creatures, you probably can win out the game anyway, just from having the board be pretty flooded. This is not a great card, if I do say so myself. The other card itself is a 2/2 creature, kind of weak, but it gives creature tokens +1/+1, which is nice if you're running a token build, but there's just better cards, I think, that are available, that can give what's called an anthem effect to your creatures. But anyway, we're gonna go ahead and take it. We'll accept all free cards into our collection. So, and since we won with this Desert Oasis deck, that should be added to our collection. Now, weird, it kind of moved from up here to down there. I think it's behind the bed. So I think next we'll play with this Dynamite deck. Let me just take a peek what's in it. Okay. Okay. Just wait, baby. So we kind of played with this deck already. But we played it against the computer. We wanna play this versus a real life human opponent and see how that plays out. Let's go home. All right. So win 3 starter deck duel games, and we get something out of it, right? We get maybe just these card sleeves. It is what it is. Ooh. Okay, so we're almost on our way to completing that achievement. We did complete some of those dailies, which was good. Let's go to not packs. We want to go to decks. We will eventually open those packs, but look at our collection now. So we now have Desert Oasis in our collection as an available deck that we can use. Great. As well as we got this power growth deck that we already played with. We'll just have to edit it from 40 cards to a 60 card deck. Again, we're gonna hold off and do that on another time. Another time when it's okay. We're gonna do that at another time before we're gonna play with this deck against a live opponent. And then this is the new one that's also 40 cards. This Forensic Prehistoric. So we have to edit it and change it to a 60 card in order to again play with live opponents. And then we have these other ones. These are the very generic like tutorial decks, essentially. Blue. They're all a single color. Blue, black. This one's red, a white one, and green one. We will edit these decks to our liking, kind of ditch the cards that aren't so good and include the cards that are good. But we'll do that at a little bit later date as well. I guess next episode we may actually give this Spark Ranked a try. We might actually do that, and maybe we'll build our first deck. Maybe we'll do that. And then complete the jump in. So we'll see. We'll see what we end up doing. It ought to be some fun stuff to do. Again, opening the packs. I'm gonna do this on another episode. It's a ton of stuff to do, and once we open these packs, we'll have so many cards to choose from. It honestly probably will be a bit overwhelming, and will also at the same time be building up our token collection, or I should say our wild card collection that we can use to exchange for any card that we want. So that'll be useful. It'll be kind of tricky to decide exactly what it is we want to choose and pick for those wild card exchanges, but it just depends on what we end up building for decks. But I think that's it for this one, and I'll catch you guys in the next one, probably sooner than later. If not again today, if I don't make another episode today, probably for sure tomorrow I'll be making another episode. So, yeah, I'm enjoying the journey. I'm enjoying the process, and for sure, whoever ends up watching this and following along this journey, just know that I'm excited to have you, watching along with me, and I hope you're also, playing along with your own account as well. As I'm going through this, you're busy grinding your account of your own. So that's it for me. I'll catch you in the next one. So, and my daughter wants to make an appearance in all my videos with with hanging out with me. So hopefully you don't mind the interruptions. But all right, peace.